12 News at 10 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us for 12 News at 10 o'clock on this Sunday evening. I'm Rachel Cole. Tonight, a historic lodge and prominent fixture on the Grand Canyon's North Rim has burned down. The Grand Canyon Lodge was destroyed in the Dragon Bravo fire, which continues to burn with zero containment. 12 News journalist Gabriela Becerra live for us in studio tonight with what we're learning about the damage. Gabby?
Well, Rachel, officials say that fire exploded overnight, destroying not only the Grand Canyon Lodge, but also homes and businesses of people who work on the North Rim. Smoky skies linger over the Grand Canyon, a solemn sign of a devastating fire burning across the North Rim.
When the smoke cleared, it's just you look where the North Rim Lodge should be, and it was gone.
The Dragon Bravo fire has charred 5,000 acres and destroyed dozens of historical buildings in its volatile path, including the Grand Canyon Lodge.
It's just really devastating.
First built in 1928, the Grand Canyon Lodge sits where the highway ends. It burned down in 1932. And was rebuilt with the same floor plan in 1937.
It's an icon. It's the American icon that draws people to the region.
Since then, this view has been the first stop for most visitors of the North Rim.
Pretty much anyone alive today, if they've been to the North Rim of the canyon, they've experienced going into that lodge, going down the stairs, and like your first view of the canyon is from in the lodge itself.
Now 9 days since lightning ignited the Dragon Bravo fire, flames are being fueled by hot temperatures, low relative humidity, and strong wind gusts. Crews are battling the fire on the ground and by air, but not without challenges. Firefighters were forced to evacuate the area overnight due to a chlorine gas leak at the water treatment facility caused by the fire. It also prompted closures to all Inner Canyon corridor trails and campgrounds.
Only other time I've ever seen them close trails like that was when the whole park closed during, the first months of COVID.
There have been no reported injuries or deaths. All staff and residents were successfully evacuated prior to the fire's escalation.
All of this was done in a coordinated manner. It was done quickly, but it was not rushed.
According to Grand Canyon National Park, at least 50 structures were destroyed in the fire, including administrative buildings and visitor facilities.
It's taking a big chunk of the park and taking it offline for at least a couple of years.
But the hopes to rebuild are already developing.
This is an economic engine for Coconino County and for the state of Arizona, and we want to be able to work in partnership with the National Park Service and with others to get this rebuilt.
And tonight, Governor Katie Hobbs is expressing her gratitude toward firefighters while calling for an investigation into the federal government's emergency response of this fire. She says in part, quote, "They must first take aggressive action to end the wildfire and prevent further damage, but Arizonans deserve answers for how this fire was allowed to decimate the Grand Canyon National Park." And the North Rim will be closed to visitors for the remainder of the 2025 season. Stay with 12 News for updates on this fire and closures at the Grand Canyon. In studio, Gabriela Becerra, 12 News.
Gabby, thank you. And of course, crews staying busy because also not burning far from that fire is the White Sage fire we've been covering. They're about 35 miles apart, and that's continued to double in size daily since it started. It's burning near Page and Jacob Lake. Officials say it's burned more than 41,000 acres, and there's still no containment. That fire was sparked by lightning on Thursday. And on that note, meteorologist Chris Dunn is here with us tonight looking at the conditions for fire crews up north dealing with those two fires.
Yeah, Rachel, not much help from Mother Nature. I want to show you a webcam. We showed you this during the daytime. You can see the smoke plume in the daytime, but the nighttime, we're looking across to the North Rim, and this is actually the flames from the fire, the glow off in the distance. The fires are still going. That is the Dragon Bravo fire, the one that's closest to the South Rim. We would like to see some rain move into the Grand Canyon. It doesn't really look like that's going to happen with any gusto until about Thursday and Friday. A 50% chance of some showers and thunderstorms moving through. Until then, chances for rain in that part of our state are pretty low, kind of like what we saw out there today. A whole lot of nothing in this circled area. That's where the fires are, both fires. We will find gusty winds again at times, especially during the afternoon hours, approaching 30 miles per hour in the Grand Canyon, 20-mile-per-hour gust in Flagstaff, and that wind generally blowing the smoke from these two fires The Dragon Bravo fire right down here and the White Sage fire up here to the north, blowing it towards the Hopi Reservation and the Navajo Nation. So all of this corner of northeastern Arizona feeling the smoke and seeing the smoke, also getting down into Flagstaff and Winslow. You can see some of the smoky skies and a little streamer of rain trying to come out of those clouds. So we have two large fires going on, erratic wind, low humidity, and it has been very dry across northern Arizona. The White Sage fire, again, over 40,000 acres. Dragon Bravo fire at last report over or right around 5,000 acres. But we are tracking that monsoon surge for next week. That'll bring in some rain for the high country and a chance for showers into the valley as well. I'll show you how this pattern is going to develop, and have actually increased the chance of rain for the valley. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Rachel?
All right, good news as we do need it. Chris, thank you. In other news tonight at 10 o'clock, a suspected burglar is shot and killed by a Valley homeowner. That happened earlier this morning near 7th Avenue in Northern. Authorities say when they got to the scene, they found the man who was shot. He died there at the scene. Detectives are investigating the shooting and say that the homeowner is cooperating. Another man has died after he was hit by 83rd Avenue and Camelback Road. Police say the victim was trying to cross 83rd Avenue outside of any marked crossings when he was hit. The driver involved stayed on scene and was later processed for DUI. A house fire in central Phoenix quickly spread to a second home. This happened near 19th Avenue and Dunlap this afternoon. We're told when crews got to the scene, they found 2 homes on fire. Additional crews were called in to assist.
Balance to a first alarm due to the fact that we need manpower for 2 different house fires. We want to make sure that we have plenty of manpower and resources on site to make sure we cover it. Also, through the heat, we want to make sure we cycle our crews so we don't overwork them and overheat them being so hot outside.
And fortunately, no one was hurt in that fire, but 8 people have been displaced. The cause is being looked into.